question is, they're attacking a group of people that don't have tanks or an air force for 13 months, and we're at to the point now where they're not allowing food or medical supplies in, and there's several the United Nations has called it a humanitarian crisis. I understand the attack part, but what I don't understand is we're not allowing medical supplies into Gaza. Is there any way that you think maybe you could be a little bit critical of what the Israeli government is doing right now at 13, 14 months? It was 2 Octobers ago when we started this conflict. I believe Israel had the moral high ground for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, but not 13 months. You understand?
Yeah.
They can't, like, there's no standing army to defend themselves. They don't have Patriot missile batteries. They don't have Black Hawk helicopters. They don't have Abrams tanks. But we're at 13 months, and like they're not. So do you understand what I'm saying? Well, my concern will be here.
I come from a country where we have massive war right now, and it feels to me like we really need a leader who puts it to stop.
What country?
And as a woman, I come from Israel.
Oh, okay.
I'm Israeli.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman, I would love to vote for a woman, and I would love to have a woman leader. I come from a country where we had one woman leader. Her name was Golda Meir, but she was a leader. Like, she had this thing into her, like this aura of leadership that, again, I definitely support other people's opinions, but that's something that unfortunately Kamala, in my personal opinion, doesn't have. And Trump has this leadership personality where it feels to me like everything that is happening in Ukraine and Russia right now, and everything that is happening with Israel and Gaza, Palestine, is definitely going to be, like, if we have a strong leadership in America, all these wars and all those innocent people that are dying right now would probably be over with. And it's when I came to this country to definitely be a free woman. And I felt like when I came from Jerusalem, to me, America was super free because I could wear whatever I want and I could do whatever I want. But after 5 years of being super liberal and super free and the OnlyFans chick, about a year ago, I stopped doing OnlyFans, and now I'm in real estate school, and I just want to be home and find a man and cook for him and just be a wife. So at the end of the day, I come from I had it all. I had this $50,000 a month from OnlyFans, and I had this 1 million followers on Instagram, and I had all this fame of being a penthouse pet of the year, and all this magazine covers and all this fame. And at the end of the day, all I want is get married and have kids and just be home pregnant and cook for my husband.
But that's me too.
Not to derail this, but we are talking a little bit politics here. I have to ask you this because you are a former member of the IDF. Do you think that what is happening in Israel, that it's gone on for too long?
Definitely. I served in the IDF for 3 years.
Yes.
I was in the Air Force and I had an M16. A lot of people talk about Israel killing innocent people and stuff like this. And it was really important for me. And the reason why I booked my flights here today is when you told me you're doing this election podcast, immediately booked my flights, immediately went to the Wynn Hotel, and I'm here now. Yeah. It's important to me to definitely speak about my country as well, as someone who is definitely going to be voting Republican probably most of my years in the US, and finally getting my American passport, which took me 6 years of doing it legally. I have to talk about my country because I feel obligated to my people. There is a reason why it's called the IDF. It's Israel Defense Force. It's not attack force. When I had an M16, I could never use it. We can't use it. All we do is defend ourselves. And what happened about a year and a half ago when they came to our border and murdered our people and kidnapped our hostages and raped our women, we had to defend ourselves. We had to attack back. Just like Japan and Hiroshima after Pearl Harbor, when you are being attacked by another country, you have to act.
Totally understand. My question is, they're attacking a group of people that don't have tanks or an air force for 13 months. And we're at to the point now where they're not allowing food or medical supplies in. And there's several, the United Nations has called it a humanitarian crisis. I understand the attack part. But what I don't understand is we're not allowing medical supplies into Gaza. Is there any way that you think maybe you could be a little bit critical of what the Israeli government is doing right now at 13, 14 months? It was 2 Octobers ago when we started this conflict. I believe Israel had the moral high ground for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, but not 13 months. You understand?
Yeah.
They can't, there's no standing army to defend themselves. They don't have Patriot missile batteries. They don't have Black Hawk helicopters. They don't have Abrams tanks. But we're at 13 months and they're not. So do you understand what I'm saying? Well, my concern will be here.
I completely agree with you. Right now, it's definitely gone too far, especially because the U.S. needs a better leader. But I have to say something. We pulled out of Gaza in 2006. and we supplied them free electricity, free water, free food, free everything. But then they come over and they terrorize us and they kidnap our people. And we said them many, many times. We still have over 100 hostages right now. Some of them are women out there. And there is like rumors out there that some of them got pregnant by their kidnappers. If you give us our people back, we will supply you free food, free electricity, free money, free whatever, like you always get, because they live for free. So give us our hostages back and we will provide you with whatever you need.
Yeah, but I just think that the issue is like from a world standpoint, from the world stage, is that like there's a bunch of children that live in Gaza that have nothing to do with this war and they can't get food in there. It's like a legitimate, this is not the Israelis, not the United States government, is like there are worldwide entities that are calling this a humanitarian crisis. At first, I was like doubting it. I was like, well, maybe these stories are coming from Gaza. But like after 13 months, I've just listened to one doctor after another. Many of them are not Middle Eastern. They've gone there and it has been 100-0. Every single one of them has been like, this is an unlivable situation for what's going on in Gaza. If Israel's intent is to make it unlivable, and they want to do so in order to get their hostages back, then they should explain that. I don't know what the answer is here, but what I'm saying is when the United States took on Iraq in 1990, we beat the shit out of them in 3 weeks, and then we left because they couldn't fight us. And after a while, they just couldn't fight us anymore. It's this same type of situation where it's like they're taking like U.S. model tanks and aircraft into Gaza, and there's no way for them to fight back. And I'm like, at some point, what I'm saying is, if they haven't got them out after 13 months, are they going to get them after 18 months? Are they going to get them after 24 months? At what point, what would victory have to look like for Benjamin Netanyahu to pull out of Gaza? That's the only question I would ask.
It's a great question, and I completely agree with you. And it's very, very reasonable question. One of my best friends is actually Palestinian, and one of the reasons why I went so viral on Instagram is because I go live with him and we speak in Arabic, and all of my Israeli supporters are like, "Fuck you, bitch! Like you are, how do they call me, betrayer in Hebrew? Like you're friends with the Palestinian." Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Muslim friends, especially the Palestinians that are not crazy. And don't get me wrong, like it's gone so far. But at the end of the day, even their children are being taught to hate, and they have a terror organization as a leadership. So when you have someone like Iran right now, their leadership right now is a terror, like it's a dictatorship where they terror their citizens. Sure. So if you have a terror organization as a leadership and all you teach your children and your little 3-4-year-olds is to stab Jews and kill them to death, I'm sorry, but I really don't feel bad for their children if they're going to be terrorizing our country in like 4 years from now.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, yes, we need to go back to America right now and to the other topics, but it's extremely complicated and it's very, very sad. And I feel so bad that so many people are dying.
3,000 years.
I want her on for a president.
It's never going to be over.
What, with Jake Shields?
Yeah, right.
Okay, great. All right, here we go.
Awesome.
Go back to America.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to do this one?